Right, we're
I
recording.
think it's coming from in here.
So, Luke, we are, well, this is our final review basically before handing our final formative feedback round. This will be sort of the third, and officially was with the pitch and the other one. How do you feel like the project's going at this moment in time?
Very well. I've got a playable game now, and now it's just making it look good.
Right, that's a really good position to be in. I think
Trying
that's
to learn Blender at the moment. Going all right.
okay.
Just
Cool.
It's just free and open source. It's just easier, and I'm not paying for free as much.
Okay, fair enough. And you're so you've got something playable. We were discussing before we started recording the need for feedback. So unfortunately, the whole building with executable file is not working from Unreal at this moment in time for whatever reason. So I'll get IT to look at that. In the short term, the workaround we discussed is the idea of getting people to jump on the editor and give you feedback. That's going to be really important to give you a sense of the way to go with it now. But I think from what you were saying before, you've got all your functions sorted basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just now about
Well, very, very basic.
yeah, but I mean, I think you do it a disservice. I think like it's really like good what you've got going.
Well, right now the game is just shoot at everything until you eventually get overwhelmed by the amount of enemies.
Okay, so it's that wave attack type thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But the key thing is you've got your different types of magic, haven't you? You've got different types
I've
of
got 3
spells, yeah, and they all have varying levels of effect, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
And
really
they-
that's really
and they give
impressive.
them feedback to the wand you're holding, so that glows different colors depending on what you got. And I've got like made some like icon sprites in the top right of the screen for
Yeah.
like things and perks and stuff. So I've added a lot.
Yeah, this looks really. I mean,
And I've done the asset list very quickly.
yeah, this looks really thorough as always. I can sort of like you're someone in the group that you can rely on
I
to.
think the new stuff is right about where you are right now. I think so anyway.
Enemy attacks, and we've got these icons. I haven't.
Yeah, I
seen,
made them in for scale.
I love it. Yeah, cool.
I don't have a sprite because you have to pay for it.
Yeah, so you're going for a spritey based feel to it. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, well pixel art, my normal art skills are terrible, so I don't do vector art.
But yeah, cool. So what's left now? Just aesthetically polishing the actual.
Actually making it look like a game instead of like an Unreal template.
Yeah.
So
And
making like walls, assets and props and stuff.
texturing. What sort of style is it going to be? Like block colors, or what are we going to go for?
It's not going to be hyper realistic. I know I've got like Quixel Bridge and all that, but that's not really mine, is it? It's just drag and drop. Might as well be using assets from the marketplace if I was going to do that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really fit my aesthetic really.
Okay.
So
but you have an idea for your aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah, like sort of a low poly, sort of cartoonish look.
These characters will switch out. These will lose these.
Depends on time. I've sort of grown attached to it. I don't want to get rid of it.
I quite like them. I think they're kind of cool. But yeah,
they're just like a load of things are stuck together in like 5 minutes. I've grown attached to it. I don't want to get rid of it.
I quite like the style of those. I think if you're going for that stylized, like very geometric sort of, like you say, low poly style, in that sense that they're just shapes. Your thing is about function after all, but I think you do still want to make it look nice. So is it a closed loop? Do we have like we've got a menu, and if you die, you go back to it?
I haven't got a menu yet.
Okay, is that something you're going to be working on?
Yeah, but that's easy to do. Just make a new level, make UI, and then just stick an image on it. It's not difficult.
No. So I think like all from everything that we've seen and things that I've seen going on in the space up until this point, like we're in a position where we've got like a lot of work documented as always with yourself. I think the key thing now is two things really. It's the play testing and being able to try and maybe even implement some changes based on what people suggest. And then cosmetically just polishing everything, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work through that because I did encounter a bit of a bug with it.
Okay.
When the perk screen comes up, sometimes it won't actually turn up, and you'll just get the game paused.
Oh, right.
I'm trying to figure out why. I haven't made any successful attempts as like fixing that yet. I'm trying to find where the thing is, but
if you don't get anywhere, I'm sure Sam will be able to help by next Monday. So key things like trying to contextually tie it into the themes of the like research that you did before this, kind of like the castle-y theme, like you said, and trying to make it feel like what actually is going to work in terms of an aesthetic that ties in. And like you said, you don't want to lose those enemies, so fine. But And then what else have we got? So have you got on here your previous feedback reflected on? You have, yeah. We need some reflection on this last round of feedback by the looks of it. Okay, so that's one to tick off as another thing to add to your list. Got bibliography going.
Yeah.
Good. You're keeping on top of that. Yeah, cool. And again, anything else? I think the most important thing now is we want this to be, this should be a showcase piece of work that will be in our end of year show as a playable game. So the more you can get action in terms of making it look nice and just like, have that polish of the front end menu and stuff will be ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's looking really strong. And again, we should be looking at the criteria in terms of this that are like the distinctive level, because that's what you achieved last year. So we'll be looking at that kind of area of like, have we got an in-depth aesthetic awareness, imaginative and flexible process, and skills applied to extensive inquiry in the practice skills I'm looking at now. So I would say that obviously your work is currently very driven in terms of function. So
yeah, direction.
Function has been the standout thing to this point. Aesthetic awareness, I think that doesn't mean that your work then has to suddenly just be about the visuals, but it's just that thing like the iconography, for example, that you've done for your sprites.
Like icons.
Yeah. So your little icons, just that language that you've got going on for the different sort of magic skills. That's really nice, and we've got those clearly all tied together. They feel like
that's a weird bug. Apparently, it loses colors if the sprites are too small, so you have to actually upscale them to like 128 by 28.
There you go. So that's again like a problem-solving thing that you've actioned, and I think that's one of the key things. I think for problem-solving, you're someone who I'd imagine will instantly sort of fall into the higher levels because you do demonstrate decisive process to applying solves to problems. You do it all autonomously. You do everything. You just do it, implementing creative solutions. So the key thing I think for me is for me to be able to look towards awarding the highest level is that playtesting, primary use of feedback.
I'll probably do it in like after lunch.
Yeah, do that. I think that'd be really key. And then just as I say, building in a front menu, making it feel like polished, thinking about typography and stuff. And yes, like that's not your key thing. So like ask people around you. You're sat next to Grace, who's really visually aware. So if you say, like, look, does this work? Does that, you can get some informal feedback going that way. Equally, you can put those things out to a survey. But yeah, try and capture that feedback and drive your work in the last stages in terms of that. And then on your, if hopefully we'll get an XE build, I'll get them to fix that.
No, my luck, probably not. But
no, but we'll aim for that. So on presentation and final product, we got a nice video playthrough. Your title. Have you got a working name for this project?
Some generic like spellcaster.
Spellcaster, yeah, cool. And then in a nice font, and get your color scheme from your game and your menu on here, and do that last bit of polish there, and then all is looking very good. So I think we're on course at the moment, Luke. If it was assessed today, it wouldn't quite have everything it needed to. But
no, it's not finished.
Exactly. But with their last 18 days, with that final evaluation, with the final playthrough video, having play tested it with people, we should be looking to try and achieve that distinctive level. So everything we can do to work towards the criteria in that end column is essential. And again, we'll be like reviewing it in terms of that. Crucially, I think playtesting feedback is a key to getting that done. All right.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think lots to commend here. You've been working really hard. There's a lot on a superficial level. There's a lot of work here. This scroll bar is very small. There's a lot going on. You're diligently recording everything that you're doing. Just do those last few things, like making sure that today's feedback's reflected on, last time's one is reflected on, and as I say, the final stages of polishing everything. All right. Okay. Have you got anything else you would like to discuss in this one, or like to go over?
No, it's just technical stuff that's not relevant to this. So
okay. Well, let's cease recording. I will do my best to get IT to resolve the XE build.